Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, June 8th and Sunday, June 9th by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi, and our energy mantra for this weekend is I align with conscious guided action. And I want to say happy birthday to Gaia Blooming. Oh, there's my notebook cheat sheet. June 8th. June 8th was the day that Gaia Blooming was officially founded. So, happy birthday, Gaia Blooming, Gemini. Actually, Gemini with, I think, Leo Moon and Leo Rising. So, interesting, because we have the Moon finishing up in Leo today. We also have Venus finishing up in Taurus today. So, as the Moon finishes up in Leo and Venus finishes up in Taurus, did I say Leo? As Venus finishes up in Taurus, these energies are connecting. They're squaring, but it's so interesting because there's definitely a feeling of a desire of the good things. There's definitely a feeling of desire of like luxury and love that comes up as these energies come together. So even though it's a square, we have that resistant energy in a square. With this 29 degrees, it's like, what part of you is denying the good things? What part of you is denying your worth for the good things in life? And how can you embrace that this morning? And even through the day, we have Venus shifting into Gemini at 6:37 p.m. Pacific time. So until then, we have this full day of Venus at that 29 degrees in Taurus. Now, this doesn't mean go crazy, but it does mean like give into the senses. Indulge in beauty, indulge in things that make you feel good, whether it's like lighting candles and burning incense, taking a bath, maybe doing a little shopping, but be very aware of overdoing it. Venus and Taurus can definitely overdo it, but like show yourself you're worth it. And also, like I said, indulge the senses. And if you do have that worth stuff coming up, check in with your inner child, because somewhere along the way, you may have been, I don't know, not necessarily told that you're not worth it, but given those projections, I actually have that card for Saturday, given those projections that you shouldn't indulge or enjoy a sensual life or whatever. This life, another life, many possibilities. But that's how we begin the day. We then have the moon void, of course. So it may be one of those kind of, oh yeah, lazy lion days. Thank you, Kidney. Good timing. Yeah, with the moon void, of course, sometimes it can feel, the astro energies can feel a little tired. They can feel a little quiet. And so until the moon shifts at 2:45 p.m., you may be like, kind of wanting to take it easy. Do that, especially if that is something that your senses are asking for. How can you love upon yourself? However, with that lunar shift at 2:45 p.m., oh my gosh, we have mental energy hitting a little spike. Between Moon in Virgo, and then we have Venus moving into Gemini, plus the other Gemini energy we have going on, plus we're building into actually a mutable square, and the mutable signs definitely activate the mental energy. It can activate all the thinking and the researching within us. There's going to be definitely a mental spike going on this weekend. And I actually wrote down a Rumi quote. If you can forget your tricks and cleverness, that would be the cleverest trick. And that's going to be something to remember through this weekend with this moon in Virgo and all these other energies going on. Moon in Virgo, we so often can get so caught up in the details. We can get so caught up in overanalyzing things. But Moon in Virgo reminds us to bring it to the energy of the body, to really listen to what the body is telling us, connecting into that wisdom. So rather than going all haywire and craziness and into the tricks and cleverness of the mind, connect to the body. What does your body need right now? And that really works with Venus, again, finishing up in Taurus. Listening in, what do you need on that sensual level to help you be your best self? The moon, as it moves through Virgo, the first connection it's going to actually make is with Uranus. Uranus and Taurus. Are you listening to your body? Are you listening to your nervous system? Are you overdoing it? The other cards that I have for the Saturday energy are, besides the projections, the Lover's card and the Inner Voice card. So it's like, Listen to yourself, that inner voice, the voice of the body, and love on yourself. Very important in and through this energy. Venus in Gemini is a very interesting energy. So Venus will shift into Gemini, like I said, 6:37 p.m. I didn't look up to see. It's about a month. It stays about 28 days. Wait. Ducking in front of the camera really quickly to grab my cheat sheet. Venus will finish up in Gemini on the 13th of July. That's when it'll move into Cancer. So until then, with Venus in Gemini is like the socialite. Venus in Gemini wants to go out, be seen, talk to everybody, find out all the gossip, find out all the information, what's going on, who's connecting to who am I connecting to. But how can we bring beyond that, how can we dig into the consciousness, love consciousness, and how can we bring that forward into the world with how we communicate? How can we bring beauty consciousness, abundance consciousness into the world and communicate that to others as we connect into them? That to me, I think, is like the highest vibration. I think will be very helpful and serving, even worth consciousness, people's worth, like reminding them, wow, you're so special, wow, you're so neat, wow, you are such an abundant person, look at all these gifts that you have. We are heading into this eclipse season. We are heading into, some other intensity. So this is how we can take this energy and work with it, create with it, love on the world with it, even create some positive vibrations, positive projections with it. So, I did see something, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said Venus in Gemini can definitely bring on the FOMO, fear of missing out. Be very aware of that. And if you find that coming up with Venus in Gemini, this is really important that you do get out and make those connections. And like I said, with those connections, you can then bring that higher energy, inspiring people so that they know their worth consciousness and abundance consciousness and all that. But be very aware of that feeling, because if you fall into the FOMO spiral, it's harder to bring about those good vibrations. All right, so Sunday energy. Oh my goodness, so much stuff. Like I said, the moon is continuing through Virgo. Important to listen to your physical body. But as we have the moon moving through Virgo, we have the sun squaring Neptune, and we have the moon squaring the sun, and we have the moon squaring Jupiter. So we have all of the mutable signs activated. Mutable means changeable, but the mutable signs are the signs that have the different brands of wisdom. Gemini is all about like the stimulus. What's going on right here, right now? Oh, speaking of right here, right now, this fell over. See, Gemini energy. Virgo can overanalyze everything, but Virgo really brings the information of the body if we are paying attention. Then we have Sagittarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius, which brings all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, all of the books that we've ever read, all of that we've collected and brings it there. And then we have Neptune in Pisces, which brings the esoteric version. So we have many depths of information. All these energies are squaring each other, and it can get very confusing. Well, I read that here, and I see this here, and my body's telling me this, but my spiritual guidance, my soul, my spirit, my intuition is telling me this, and I'm not really sure which way to go. And it can feel kind of like being pulled in 4 different directions. That energy is definitely happening today. This is why you need to tune into the body and ground in. What is it that your body needs, and how can you show up for your body? Then you do want to listen to that inner voice, your intuition. How is that guiding you in and through that? Then we want to check in. What's happening right now in all of this energy? How am I being called to show up? And what's happening right now with the Gemini energy? And then we want to check in with our wisdom. Like, okay, what have I learned about this through my experiences, through books that I've read? Ultimately, I do feel like you want to listen to your body. You want to listen to that intuition. But all these energies can work together. But you got to stop collaborate and listen, just like that energy mantra from earlier this week. Stop, collaborate, and listen, because it's going to be really easy to fall into some old conditioning in and through with these energies. It's going to be really easy to get into that place where you just feel confusion and kind of shut down. You don't need to shut down. You don't need to run. You don't need to tune out. You need to tune in deeper. I have the stress card for Sunday. The stress card, the suppression, and the let go card. And this is definitely what happens in these crosses, these squares. The nice thing is the moon moves through fairly fast, fairly swiftly. This is gonna be a day. It's gonna be passing through. You need to forget your tricks and cleverness, and that will be the cleverest trick. And really drop into yourself in order to move through this. As the moon moves through, it will connect into that Mercury energy, Mercury in Cancer. Listen to your gut instincts. That's going to help move you through this. The moon is also going to connect into Mars. Mars also moving through that Cancer energy. So, listen to your gut instincts. Like I said, when we have those square energies, it's like you got to stop and like drop into the middle. It kind of is like this let go card that we have right here, like being the drop and dropping down into the center of all these energies. Letting the chaos be what's around you and not what's inside you. Listen to your gut. It will help guide you through any of the confusion that comes up. But the confusion is definitely going to be mentally connected to. Let's see. Moon is also going to be connecting to Saturn and the South Node in and through these energies. What I would say with this is, and like I said, this is one of the overview cards, be very aware of the conditioning. Be very aware of the patterns that you've followed in the past when you have felt this. We've all been through mutable squares at one time or another. We've all been in that place where it's like, oh my God, I hear all this mental conflict and I'm not really sure what to do. You at the heart of you always knows what to do. And even if you don't feel like you've taken the right path, even if you're like, well, that was the wrong choice, we always have lessons that we have to learn when that happens. So it's like, don't beat yourself up about it. Drop into the center. How are you being guided beyond the noise? How are you being guided beyond the conditioning? But I do think as the moon connects in, you may be tempted to fall into those same patterns. So be very aware of it. Along with the conditioning card, I have the new vision card as an overview. Taking a new path, holding a higher vision is going to help you shift out of what you have done in the past. It also is about connecting in body, mind, spirit, soul, and letting those energies help guide you. And I remember at one point being like, well, my heart says this, but my mind says this. If you're at a conflict, chances are you don't have all the information or you're holding on to something, because I do feel like ultimately these energies can align. There may be some trauma blocking, there may be some, other stuff blocking, but ultimately these things, these energies are connected to your soul and they do know which way to guide you. So if you connect in, you're like, well, my heart's saying this, but my mind's saying that. There may be some energies to work through. There may be some old stressors or old suppression to be let go of. Which way do you really want to be pulled? I can't get that Rumi verse that I keep trying to do, but it's basically like, listen to your heart, listen to your soul. It will not lead you astray. That's what it is. Let yourself be silently drawn by what you really love, by what you truly love, as it will not lead you astray. Remember that through these energies. So I think with that, I'm going to end this. This is kind of long, but it's a lot of stuff this weekend. I will do my best to be back on Sunday. We have been told that we may have power outages due to heat and wind up here. So hopefully I will be back. Besides that, take a second. Note what you're grateful for, especially if you get caught up in these mental energies. Fall into gratitude. That can help recenter you. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Namaste.